Oh, all right, it's too much. You know, they say you got 7 seconds to get people's attention, so I'm just making sure you guys you're staying focused, you're not tabbing over anything. All right, on to the video. Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Chad, and this week, this video, just like every video from now on, is going to be brought to you by my lovely Patreons. This week, specifically Ohio, who is actually a very good friend of mine. Frankly, if you guys are into Japan and my type of stuff, be it music, culture, anime, whatever it happens to be, I would go check out his channel. We'll put a link down below. I think you guys would like the content down there. But enough of the shameless self-promotion. This week on my channel, we're going to be talking about small tips you guys can do every single day to get you to Japan faster, get your dream trip going, get you there cheaply, and help you have fun while you're there. Now, most of these videos are usually going to be talking about you guys cutting or stopping or changing or doing whatever you need to do to kind of cut down, to put pennies in the bank. And that's all videos like this, but to prove to myself that I could do it, I also had one option in here that will actually have you spending more money in Japan. Stay tuned, we'll cover all this in the video. Now the first one, we're just gonna rip the band-aid off because this is the worst one that you guys are gonna have to deal with. It takes a lot of self-reflection. Let's just get right into it. Take inventory of your negative habits. We all have them. They vary from coffee to actual hard drugs to gaming to whatever it is that you use to either escape or cope or deal with life that you don't technically need, and that is just kind of leeching off your finances and off your dreams. If you're trying to save and you just can't find the money to, this might be a good place to start. Now, you guys know me, I'm not a financial planner. This isn't a finance channel. I'm not here to equip you guys to become millionaires. That's not what this is. But as a broke person who goes and travels as a broke person, I think I can give you a little bit of insight. So let's take some personal inventory here. And to put everything into scale, we're gonna base this off of my most recent flight purchase, which was Japan, round trip, Denver to Fukuoka. It was $644 US. Cheap? Yes. But it did happen, and it's going to happen again. I actually found one for $736 right before I filmed this video, so they're out there. So you wanna go to Japan, but you're like pinching pennies, and you don't know how to make ends meet. Well, are you a coffee drinker? What's a Starbucks coffee nowadays? $3, $4 each. If it's a $4 drink that you guys are having every day, that's $1,500 a year you're blowing on coffee. My $600 trip, you could do 2 of them, round trip to Japan tomorrow. Are you guys a pack-and-a-half cigarette smoker? I think a pack-and-a-half a week would end up being like $400 annually. Where I'm at in Colorado, depends on where you're at. $400, that's almost your entire flight. And I'm also gonna be saving you probably tens of thousands of dollars in healthcare bills in the long run. But don't, I mean, this isn't a stomp out tobacco ad or anything. I'm assuming most of you guys drink. What do you spend on liquor? Are you guys going to restaurants where they mark up all of the fancy craft beer, GMO, locally brewed stuff? Are you drinking Budweiser piss water? Because if you're drinking a 12-pack of Budweiser piss water a year, you're gonna be spending $10.50 a week. If you're just going through 12 a week, that's $546 a year. That's your trip. That's $100 short of your trip right there. Now I know what you're thinking, Chad, what's the point of living if I can't do jello shots off that cute girl's booty? Look, I'm not telling you how to live your life. I'm saying if you're wanting to go to Japan and it's your dream and you want to go for it, but you're buying a vanilla frap every day with mocha and Java chips, and you're walking to me complaining about that, well, there's your freaking problem. My second tip, I know, and I promised you guys this, so here it is. Don't budget for souvenirs, but budget to buy stuff in Japan to enjoy and then resell back in America. I told you I would have you guys spending money, so hear me out. My first couple trips there, I just absolutely loved the place, and what happened was, back home in Colorado, I couldn't ever get mangas to practice, and I wasn't good enough to read straight up books, so I was like, all right, we'll just go, I'll just buy, you know, full sets of manga. I'll read through all of them to practice, enjoy the things that I bought, and then I would sell the full sets for a few $100s on eBay. I think right now a full set of Naruto is going for like 300 bucks. You bring 2 of those home, that's your ticket. You're good to go. So bringing a little bit of money, in fact, it's very easy to take $100 and flip it to $500, $600, $700 if you know what to buy. Chad, what do I buy? What are you gonna buy? What do you wanna buy? Because odds are, if you want to buy something, somebody else in the world wants to buy that same thing, and if they can get it from you without having to ship it from Japan and it cost an arm and a leg to do it, it's more likely to happen. So buy whatever you're gonna do, enjoy it when you're home, and then when you're done enjoying it, just sell it, put that money towards your next trip. Tip number 3, don't avoid major cities. This is kind of a tricky one. So you guys remember my Tokyo vid and how I tell people just don't spend all your time in Japan and Tokyo, and that was like a very hated on video, but it's also a very popular video. Go watch that if you want to see my reasons for maybe planning around Tokyo instead of going to there when you go to Japan. But I'm not going to talk about that in this video. Here's what I am going to say. If you guys are going to go to Tokyo or any of like the largest 3 to 4 cities, you're going to be dealing with anywhere in like a 30% to a 50% markup on hotels and housing costs, on food, on transit and travel, on concerts, on clothing. It's just more expensive. Tokyo has some of the most expensive square footage in the entire world. They have to mark their prices up. It's not because Tokyo is some magical, fanciful place where money is valued less. It's because if you have to spend 10, 20 times the floor space that you would in Fukuoka or in Sapporo, then yeah, things are gonna cost more. So if you guys want to cut down on that price, don't go to Tokyo. Or do for like a day or two, but then go somewhere cheaper. My suggestion, honestly, is find a list of the most populated cities in Japan, skip the first 3 to 4, and then that next 6 to 7 range, that's your kind of goal range. I promise you, in any city that you go into in Japan, you'll have the best food you've ever had, you'll have your sushis and ramens, it'll taste amazing, you'll have amazing culture, you'll have great shopping. Like, just because it's not Tokyo doesn't mean it's not a massive city. I think Fukuoka is like the 6th largest city in Japan, and it's like 2 times the size of Denver, Colorado. It's a huge, huge city. Anywhere you go, you'll be fine. Just try and cut down on those premium places and just enjoy the culture. Now, tip 4 plays into tip number 3. So when you guys are gonna book, there is a ton of websites. I have been on all of them, believe me. I'm going on my 5th trip over there and to Korea. I've been on all of them. And I gotta say, at least for right now, the cheapest that I've always seen consistently is on Kayak. Regardless of what site you guys go on, pick your cities from, what was it, the 4th largest pop to maybe the 10th largest pop. Go on to Kayak and put in dates that are off season, meaning anywhere from fall to early spring before the sakuras, the cherry blossoms bloom. You are gonna get way cheaper airfare all throughout that period. Now check all, what is that, 6 cities, 6, 7 cities for that date, and then set price alerts. So it means you don't have to check every single day. The minute a flight has 1, 2, 5 tickets, whatever you're looking for, in that price range for one of those 6 cities during, plus or minus 3 days of whatever trip you're planning, it'll ding your phone. You'll know right there, I can get it before anybody else. My next tip is for when you actually touch down. I want you guys to experience Japan. I want you to go on the Shinkansen and the trains and the buses, because they are a cultural experience of their own, but I don't want you to rely on it. It gets expensive, guys. I mean, the truth of the matter is an average bus ticket around a city just from one destination to another is probably $2 to $3 each way US. A train's probably closer to $4 to $5 depending on where you're going. Shinkansen's average, $50 to a few $100s. Take them all once or twice just so you can have that experience, and then do not rent a bike in Japan. Bikes work kind of both as a pedestrian and as a vehicle. You can ride it in the streets when the sidewalks are crowded and everyone's leaving to go home. You can also ride them on the sidewalks when there's traffic and things are crazy busy. You're gonna be able to go way more efficiently, way faster, spending less time in transit and more time at your actual travel destinations that you're trying to get to, and it's gonna save you a lot of money. Let alone with how expensive taking trains or getting rail passes is, you can buy a bike at a used bike store. This is what it is in Japanese. I'll actually put the exact way to write this in the description. You guys can just copy paste it into Google, and then make sure you put that thing plus whatever city you're going to, and you'll see a map of tons of these. You're gonna get a bike there called a mama chari, which is like a grandma bike, a mom bike. It's the standard. Literally everybody has 1 or 5 of these bikes, and you're gonna find it for like $100. You buy it and you're gonna pay 500 yen to register it with the police, so if someone steals it they can turn it back to you, or if you abandon it, they can get it back to where you're at. And then you're gonna ride it everywhere. I mean, Japan has tons of free bike parking, and if it's not free, it's maybe 100 yen for a full day's parking. And then when you're done with your trip, you can actually go back to that same store, just show them the receipt. I bought it from you, I just wanna sell it back, I'm leaving the country. They'll usually give you like $40, $50 US. So truly, you only spent $50 to travel the entire time you're there. And take it from the Japanese people who live there that know what's convenient and know what to do. Everybody rides bikes. Everybody rides bikes up to, like, if something's within 4 miles, everybody rides bikes. You can thank me later. My last tip, but also my favorite tip, do your best to make local friends. I love this tip because it enriches the experience 1,000 times over, and it's not very hard to do. I remember when I first went to Japan, my best friends that I made, right? I didn't speak very good Japanese. I just had gotten into that school and gotten into the flow of things. I was walking by this canal where all these skaters were. It was probably 1,000 degrees in midsummer. All of them had empty water bottles and they were all sweating and saying it's hot, and that's all I knew was it's hot, it's hot. So I went to a corner store, I bought like 20 water bottles, you know, sodas and teas. I brought it to them and said, this is a gift, I know you're hot, just wanted to say hi, and here you go. To this day, we Snapchat every day. We are online every day, me and all 8 of these dudes. I'm actually staying with them now every time that I come out. And it's not just, you know, expecting something from them, but what they do is they tell you the best concerts to go to, the most delicious restaurants that even the locals go to that you probably won't find very much on Western English review sites. I mean, that's how I found out about Costco and all these other places just to save random money, because a lot of them were students and they were just like, yeah, dude, this is where you should be shopping. I was shopping apparently where the gaijin shop, spending way too much money. And frankly, like, I had so many times where we'd all go out to eat and they would treat me because I just helped them work on English. I didn't expect it. I didn't ask for it. It was just I had money. It was just they said, no, you're speaking English with us, we'll cover it. Or I went to their houses and we had potlucks, and it just, the total experience was unbelievable. But always having people in the country that you're going to be friends with, every instance, every time makes that trip cheaper. You have people to have your back, people to rely on, people to help you. Have local friends. And with that, I'm gonna end it. I have just so many random small tips like this. And if you guys like this video, please tell me in the comments so I can keep making this type of video, because I just love spitting knowledge into people's faces. It also helps me, it helps me recognize if you guys like this kind of content, if you like it down below. The things that get more likes, more engagement, is the stuff that I want to keep making because it tells me you guys like it more. And if you guys need any help, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, compliments, criticisms, cuckolds, no, not that. Put them in the comments down below. I read all of my comments and I mean it. I take this very seriously. Check out my other videos. I do, I think 4 a week now. We'll be going to 4 a week anyways. We have our Wednesday video, which is much like this, about Japan, Japanese stuff, Japanese culture. I have a Saturday live stream. I have a Sunday song translation on VidMe if you guys are into Japanese music and wondered what it's like. And I also have a Monday podcast that'll be coming live either next week or the week after. If you guys want to support me, share my channel with your Japanese loving friends, or consider being a Patreon. That's probably my main source of people being vocal about supporting me. All links of everything in the description. Obviously, go check it out after the video's done. Alrighty, I've spoken too much already. My throat hurts, I'm tired. I will see you guys on Saturday. Thank you for being awesome, and have a wonderful, beautiful week, even though it's freaking raining all the time!